Let's talk about it. Behind the scenes with Coach Maltz. Listen to your inner voice.
And good afternoon, ladies and gents. My name is Mox De Vera, and I am streaming this afternoon as a test. Kasi I am trying to make a podcast, and the audio for this session will be transferred to whatever platform I'm going to be using. So, for those who don't know me yet, my name is Mox De Vera, and I am a professional host and also a hosting coach. And I am trying something new for 2024. By the way, a happy new year to everybody. To my previous clients, to my future clients, just in case you get to watch this, and I do hope you get to watch this, I would like to talk about a very important issue, where you guys can get ideas from. And in a way, etong session na to, this will help you guys come up with good ideas on how to run your wedding and wedding reception. So, yeah, it's been years that I have been doing weddings, wedding receptions, hosting wedding receptions. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's my since 2010. Yeah, 2010, over a decade and 4 years, turning 4 years. So it's been 14 years since I started hosting, and I think around 2014 is when I started hosting wedding receptions. And over the years, I have observed a lot of things and have come up with ways on how to make each wedding reception efficient enough for everybody, from the clients, you guys as my clients, the newlyweds, my co-suppliers, and myself, of course. Syempre, pag nag-host ako, I don't want to be having a hard time entertaining the guests. Kasi yun yung pinaka-importante. What the clients look out for are the guests, and I think they are the most important people in the reception. So this session will help everybody in listening to to have a unified idea on how to run your program, your wedding reception program. Now, just a quick disclaimer: these are my opinion only, and my co-suppliers, other people, the general public, or other hosts may or may not disagree, or may not agree, rather, with the ideas that I'll be presenting today. So, best to keep an open mind. And if you guys have if you guys want to share anything, or if you want to agree or disagree with anything that I'll be saying today, let's talk about it. Feel free to comment down the comment section below. Anyway, if this does not, medyo mahina talaga yung Pilipinas, and I am apologizing starting now. I'm not even sure if I'm broadcasting because frame rates are dropping, the stream is dropping. So I don't know if this is broadcasting properly, but if any case that I do, well, feel free in a discussion. So, yeah, the topic today that I want to talk to you about is who should be in control of decision making on your wedding day. Now, I've posted on different social media platforms, the the shortened version, the real real version of this topic. And I just want to expand it. Hopefully may makausap ako dito sa podcast for this session. But you know this is to expound on the ideas that I shared already. So, who should be in control of decision making on your wedding day? Now, for the people who are getting married, it's not always the same. Not everybody gets to control how they want to run their wedding day. Uh, for different clients, it's also different point of views. Some couples want to leave it to the suppliers to make their special day uh, work. They just want it to work based on the suppliers that they chose. They have full trust, 100% trust on the suppliers that they chose to make their dream wedding and wedding reception come true. Now there are some clients, there are some couples that are very specific on how they want things to happen, and that's completely understandable, and I respect that. Because if you know what you want and you want to be in control, it's not being bossy. It just means you have a certain desire that you want to happen, and I really respect that. So, first things first, the point that I want to discuss first is that most of the couples, or I'm gonna say a good 95% of the couples, spend their own money for their wedding and wedding reception. So not unless you were fixed with your marriage to another person, then definitely someone else is paying for the bill. Someone else is getting the bill. Also, if you're marrying out of wedlock, and I hope that doesn't happen anymore, but I'm sure it still does. I'm pretty sure it also uh, uh, someone else is paying for the bill. So if you're a couple that are getting married, saving up your own money for your dream wedding and your plans, it's basically your money and your decision, diba? In anything that you do, you want to take pride in everything that you've worked for. So you save up the money, you work hard for the money, you get the suppliers that you dream of. Well, for some, maybe sabihin na natin conservatively, there might be some suppliers that you don't really dream of, 'di ba? Namili kayo dun sa na afford nyo, namimili kayo based on who you think has the best skills or talents. But the bottom line is you get to choose the suppliers that you want. And it's because you have the money to do it. So regardless if you're paying for it or not, and if you get to choose the suppliers or not, as much as possible, you make the decisions because it's gonna be your day. If you let someone else pick the suppliers for you, there is a certain risk that you have to take na hindi mo magugustuhan. And I would feel sorry both for the supplier and the client if expectations are not met. But sometimes it still happens. So, yeah, number one point that I want to make is it's your money and it's your decision. Uh, don't let anyone else sway you. Well, at least between you and your partner. Don't let anyone else sway you for your decisions. Um, Meron din kasing mga situations that guests or relatives or friends use suppliers as their gifts for the newlyweds. And when I say this, you know, to give you an example, uh, I myself as a host sometimes get bumped off the roster of my potential client kasi may nagregalo daw ng host, right? And for my other supplier friends, I'm pretty sure that this has happened to you as well. That one of the guests, one of the sponsors, or one of your relatives took the tab for paying for a particular supplier. It can be the venue, the food, uh, the band, the musicians that will be playing, performers if you have performers. Uh, these suppliers are often used as gifts, also to help the couples, the newlyweds, to save a little, diba? So that they can turn their focus and their money and funds on something else. Diba? Mas may improve mo yung or ma-upgrade mo yung ibang suppliers. So yeah, that also happens. But if you really know what you want, even if reregaluhan ka, kung hindi ito yung choice mo, think about it. Okay? I'm not saying don't accept the gift. I'm not saying accept the gift either. Okay? I'm saying think about it very well. I mean, if it's an upgrade, why not? Right? Um, I don't think anybody's gonna give you a gift that is a downgrade. And talking about my co-suppliers, I don't ever want to think that anybody in our industry would be a downgrade. Each and every one of the suppliers that I know or don't even know have their own skill set, their own talents, and their uniqueness, right? So just think about it. It's up to you to accept or not if it's a gift. Since you're not paying for it, it's a freebie. You can put your efficiency somewhere else in another aspect of your wedding planning. So yeah, your money, your decisions. If someone's gonna try to decide for you, there is a big risk that can happen. Na you might regret it sooner or later, and it might not. You might just not be happy about it. So just make sure that if you decide on something, make sure you do your homework and check. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be about the decisions you make. The outcome of your wedding and wedding reception will be according to the decisions that you make. But anyway, buyers will always guide you in, if you consult with them, they will share their expertise and their knowledge about the subject. And they will give you good points whether to go for it or not. Okay? So yeah, number one point, your money, your decisions. Next point that I want to make is if you communicate to your guests what you want and how you want things to go, it's still your decision. You're still on top of the decision making. And if you inform your guests how you want your program to run, your ceremony to run, they should be able to respect that. The worst thing that I have seen, or the worst scenarios that I have seen, is that some of the guests or some relative or maybe even the parents, I'm sorry to say this, but even some of the parents would interfere with what was already planned. And you know, this happens. It's normal. It's well, if you think about it, I don't want to say it's normal. It should not be normalized that, you know, other people interfere with your plans on your wedding day. Diba? In the olden times, the parents or, you know, the families of the people getting married are the ones making the decisions for the bride and the groom, simply because they are picking up the tab, they are paying for the checks, and they are paying for most of the things that will be happening. But today, in the new age, it's all it's all different. The people who get married are fairly responsible for what they want, how they want things, diba? They want to be accountable. That's why they save up their own money to have their dream wedding happen. So, yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that you have to let your guests know uh, how you want things. Because if they're not informed, they will interfere. For example, let's make an example. Let's say between the ceremony and the program, the guests are typically waiting. This is a typical scenario where the guests are waiting for the reception program to start. And I've been into a lot, a lot of program planning for my clients, and even for my non-clients. May mga I've had clients that drop me at the last minute after the planning and everything. Yeah, and that also happens sadly. Yeah. So between the ceremony and the reception is a long wait, and I would understand if the guests get uncomfortable. If I were the guest too, I would feel uncomfortable. I would feel bored, or uh I would be uneasy because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going to happen, and I just want to get things started. Diba? Especially if you're a parent and you invited VIPs, high profile people, celebrities, uh, you know, government officials. Yeah, those type of people are the people that you don't want to feel embarrassed with, 'di ba? Kasi your parents invite these people and you make them wait. I completely understand where they're coming from. But to interfere with the program before it has even started is just wrong. And I'll discuss this further in my last point later. Yeah, so I've seen a lot of scenarios where parents of either the bride or the groom, or not even parents, maybe relatives of the bride and the groom, who have strong personalities, and they would normally barge in with the coordinators' jobs in fixing the timing of the program, when it's gonna start, how it's gonna start. And I've seen this happen a lot of times where these people would want something to happen when there's no plan of that happening. Meaning, for example, the program is set to start at 7 p.m., and at around 6:30 p.m. they start getting uncomfortable, or they start getting restless, and they feel that they're waiting too long. And you would hear these people, the people that I'm talking about, they would rant to the coordinators. This is because there is miscommunication, or there's a lack in communication of what's supposed to happen. That is why the invites in the new age, probably in the last 5 or less than 10 years ago, they now put the time of the reception. So if you have the time of the ceremony on the invitation, sometimes they also have to indicate the time of the reception so that the guests would have this understanding that, you know, the program is starting at this time. So you have to wait and try to do something, I don't know, something to pass the time. Something, I don't know, useful. So, um, you know, that is also why lately a lot of our consumers, the the target market of the wedding industry, the newlyweds, the brides and the grooms, have now settled with cocktails because of that long wait. And I'll tell you why. Because also recently, maybe I'm not sure exactly when it started. The wait became longer kasi nagkaroon ng movement in the flow of the timeline for these couples. Normally, as far as I know, in other countries, coming from the church, whatever they have to do at the church, including the photo shoot with the relatives, the friends, and everybody, they go straight to the reception and the program starts instantly. Here in the Philippines, it's a bit different. Um, when you finish with the reception, there's a lot of things going on. Number one, uh, this is for everybody's information so that you're already in the know. Number one, what happens is that uh, the people, suppliers connected with that particular event, uh, the photo and the video team takes extra footage. Sometimes they include it in the same day edit videos, if you guys are familiar with the term. The same day edit videos are the videos that were taken all throughout the day, uh, from the preps in the morning up until sometime within the reception. And these are shown towards the end of the program because these videos, the footage that they take, are being edited. Now, wala to dati. Panahon ng parents natin, panahon ng lolo't lola natin, when they get married, wala pang same day edit. Hindi pa uso yon because probably the equipment back then was analog. Ngayon, it's all digital. It's just easy to slap in different footage, add some music. Transitions are, just part of the software. So it's really easy. Well, not easy. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but, it's easier. It's easier now. And we get to do that just as instantly. So, yeah. This adds up to the time spent for the couple, and this also makes the guests wait, which is in a way good and bad. Good for the couple because they get extra footage of them for their memories, that they get to keep. You want to take as much photos and videos if you're nostalgic. Try to look back at that in the future. Uh, we have it in Facebook now, 'di ba? Merong tayong mga memories that pops up, and if it's your wedding anniversary, uh, Facebook brings up your same day edit video that you posted a year ago, and you get to share that again and relive the whole thing. So yeah, if you if you can communicate this to the guests, that there's a wait time between the ceremony and the reception, the agitation, the anxiety, and the the discomfort of the wait will be lessened. I'm not entirely sure how we can remove those uh, negative aspects altogether. Uh, that might be in development somehow, and that's one thing that I'm trying to solve. Hopefully, this video you know, gets to inform the general public. Kasi yung mga tito-tita natin na hindi na nagfe-Facebook, hindi na nila mapapanood to. But the newlyweds, the people who are just getting married or who already got married can share this to your guests. You know, paint a picture for them. I don't know, during the dinner rehearsals, anytime that you get to mingle with your soon-to-be guests, di ba? Kasi you meet everyone kasi you have to send the invites or you personally invite them to your wedding. So that's the only time that they'll get to know this. But they have to be informed why there's a wait time, right? And you have to be the one to do this, because if you want to do the things that you want to do or make things happen the way you want it to on your wedding day, you should be able to communicate this and make that decision. Yan. Kasi you make the decisions. You want it to run this way. And, diba, I'm pretty sure that you guys don't want anybody interfering in your wedding or wedding reception about anything else. You don't want that stress. You're already stressed for a year or more planning your wedding and wedding reception, and you feel more stress because you have to entertain this particular issue that has been brought by your guests, right? As much as I respect your guests, as much as you guys want to respect your guests, these are instances that you might not be able to escape, because you know your guests, you know your family, you know your friends, you know the people who might do this to you. So it's not that I'm condemning them. I'm not saying they're bad people. Like I said, I completely understand where they're coming from, but it's really just a lack of communication. That is why recently we try to come up with ways on how to alleviate this wait time for them. How we can lessen the burden of having to wait, standing, waiting outside without AC. Minsan if you're in a garden wedding, the reception is air conditioned indoors, but the wait area is outside. Especially if it's summer, that is a bummer. All right, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It sucks, and that's the reality of it. So that happens, and I'm sharing this to you all so that you all can be aware of that in particular. Other examples that you may need to inform your guests is that there are also other particulars that you need to inform them about, like the old traditional prosperity dance. Yan, immortal na prosperity dance. Others call it money dance. Others call it I don't know. Per region, there are different traditions of the same nature, where the couple dances and people would be sharing their money to the newlyweds as their gift or as their blessings, whatever you want to call it. Not everyone is familiar with this, or not everyone is amendable. Let's use that term. Not everyone is amendable with that tradition. So if you're not from the province, or if it's not a tradition within your family, if you're just out there to, get back the money that you spent on your wedding, you might be looking at it the wrong way. So yeah, if you do, if you just really want to make back a percentage of what you guys spent, maybe you can inform your guests ahead that we hope to start our marriage properly by still having some money left because we spent all our money on our wedding, and after that we're not gonna live off of anything. So we would like to do a money dance or a prosperity dance, if you guys can help us. Yeah, so you basically just need to inform your guests so that you are all in this on the same page of everything. Same with your coordinators, same with your suppliers. You have to be on top of communication if you want things to run the right way, the way you want it. All right, which brings me to my next topic then. What the guests want may not be what you want as the people getting married. And so talking about guests who interfere, they might have this notion that uh, they have to manage a certain situation, or they have to make a decision for you since you guys are not yet there. I'm talking about the duration, the time that you guys are not yet in the program. So eto na naman, we are back dun sa wait time between the ceremony and the reception. Your guests may want to do some things that you as a newlywed couple or the clients may not want. Number one, let me cite some examples. Number one would be on the top of my head, yung biglang may pakakantahin during the reception program. Uh, yeah, Filipinos love to perform. Filipinos love to sing. Filipinos love music. And some couples may not appreciate, you know, if you just bring in someone who will be performing out of nowhere that is not part of the plan. I've heard a lot of couples, when I'm meeting with them, they would instantly tell me, at the beginning of our program meeting, na, they just want this program to be short and lively, to entertain the guests while they eat. Something's just happening in the background, but they don't want to make a big deal about it. Okay? So now, a relative or a guest or even parents would sometimes just jump in out of nowhere and tell the host or the coordinators that, yung si pinsan, si cousin ni groom, we would like her or him to perform a song, 'di ba? So yeah, the problem with that is that the other guests might not know this person. And let's just be realistic. Sometimes the people that you appreciate in performing, like singing, for example, they may be good to you, but they may not be good to the other guests. So if you are someone who would like to, you know, do a surprise gift for the couple, they may not always appreciate this. Simply because, number one, it's not part of the plan. So you have to make sure that when you do your program or when you do your planning, you have to inform the coordinator or the host, the people involved in the program, that all decisions will be coming from you, right? You decide if someone's going to be performing. You decide when it's time to eat. You decide when the program is starting because it's your day, and they have to understand and respect that, right? Other examples, speeches. So same with performance. Uh, you know, guests, parents, ninongs or ninangs who suddenly want to say something that is not part of the program, or they were volunteered by someone else to say something during the program might not be appreciated. Um, I'll be honest. I have had a lot of clients who wants to skip the speeches. The most that they would want to hear from would be their best man and their maid of honor. Um, let's just say that they are the last in the family to get married. Coming from a big family, you're the youngest, and everybody else has gotten married except you, and this is your day. And your parents have been saying the exact same thing for every sibling. This is just hypothetical. This is just an example. The parents have said almost the exact same things in their siblings' wedding and wedding receptions, and you just kind of grew sick of it. Or, sige, let's not be too negative about it. You just don't want that, right? So you have to respect your kids. You have to respect your children getting married. That it's not that they don't want you to say anything. It's not that they don't want you guys to make an appearance. It's more of how you want your program to be. You don't like speeches. As simple as that. Not it's not too complicated to understand that speeches make your programs long, and it's not really appreciated by everybody. There are a lot of people who are not good in public speaking, and we also have to respect that. A lot of people are not good when they're holding a mic. I've seen a lot of older people, not even older people, people same age as me or younger. They don't know how to hold the mic. They would hold the mic, starting it's in front of their face, and then as they speak, it goes lower and lower, making their audio really thin until you can barely hear anything. And sometimes people are just too emotional, or they're just too shy in talking, that they don't talk any sense anymore. For example, here is a best example. On my brother's wedding, and if you guys know who my brother is, there are three of us. The second one, if you know who he is, he got married a couple of years ago. I was not really part of the program to say anything, but their host, their host felt like it would be a good opportunity to introduce me as the sibling who also hosts to the rest of the guests. Now, I know probably a good 60% of the guests that were invited. Of course, you know, these are half the bride's guests and half the groom's guests. But yeah, I pretty much know almost everybody, or they know me because, they know that my brother had siblings. But I wasn't part of the program at all. So it was an ambush, surprise ambush by their host, who I know. And he did a pretty good job hosting it, except for that part that he made me say a speech. And this was around the time that I have started drinking, and I'll be honest, I don't hold my alcohol very well. So being a host, I thought I would just wing it. So did the host that approached me to do this. we both thought we would just wing it and we would be successful in doing this, but I really wasn't. I will be honest with you guys that, you know, being a public speaker, being an accomplished host, doing this for a lot of years. I've been ad-libbing for as long as I can remember, but this speech was just not it. It was bad. And I'm going to tell you guys that it was bad. I screwed up the whole speech. But it did make sense, yes. Even if I was buzzed with the liquor, I tried to make sense of what I was trying to say, but it ended up, you know, just not appealing to everybody. So the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is that, you know, surprise parts in the program is not always appreciated because it's not part of the plan, right? If you're someone of a control freak and or you're obsessive about uh planning and everything, if this is you, this would really suck, right? Making something happen that is not for something to happen that is not part of the plan will annoy you and will bother you until, you know, you get distracted somehow. So I've been at the bad end of it, and I've also been at the other end of it. So I know how it looks like, and I know how it felt, uh, not being appreciated, because, you know, I'm gonna be honest about it. It really sucked. I sucked in that speech. I was not prepared. I didn't know what to say. You know, people gave me a pity giggle. And yeah, that did happen. That happened, and it still haunts me up to this very day. But, you know, I'm if I could redo that, I would probably do better. But, you know, well, it's already 1:46. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna repeat any time, and I don't think I can redeem myself. But, you know, the best way I can do it is just to do a good job at hosting others' weddings. Well, that's suffice to say that, you know, I wasn't really part of my brother's wedding that much, which is also good because, you know, for once I was a guest, had nothing to do with the wedding. Most of the suppliers know me, but, you know, no big deal. Yeah, so what the guests want may not be what you want as a client. So make sure you inform your guests how you want it, and make sure that you tell your suppliers that all decision making will go to you. You guys, being the client, will have to be aware, and you have to be consulted before you say things. All right, go to our next point, which is you have to delegate how you want things to run. Now, if you are in control and if you want to make the decisions on your wedding day, you have to delegate the information, you have to delegate the orders, and you have to delegate the tasks properly. All right. So, not everything that happens on your wedding and wedding reception is all on the wedding coordinators. You can also delegate some tasks to your best man or maid of honor, maybe to your sister or your brother, your siblings, whatever. Most important here is that you delegate the tasks, and not one person should be burdened with multiple tasks, because, you know, just same as the office. If you give a person multiple tasks and the person needs to multitask, it's not going to be efficient. It's not going to be 100%, right? And what I said on the reels that I posted, there can't be more than one chef in the kitchen. diba? Multiple people can't make the decisions, so it has to come from one source, and you have to delegate the rest to the other people involved in your wedding and wedding reception. But the decisions should always come from one person. If one person needs to make a judgment call because you need to make a quick decision for something, then I don't know. That is, yeah, that's a judgment call. If you have to make a if you have to make an on the spot decision, it's a judgment call. Just make sure that it is gonna be beneficial for everybody, especially your client. Which brings me to my last point, and I want to wrap this up really carefully. It's always the client's decision. And when I say it's always the client's decision, you guys who are watching will soon, or maybe you've been married, or you guys had your wedding already. But for my clients or soon to be clients who are watching this, you are the client and you should make the decision. Okay? Unless, one of the suppliers make a judgment call. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we go back to our first point, which is your money, your decisions. You are the client. You are the one celebrating. You have the special day. You have the infinity gauntlet. You make the you make the decisions. You're the most powerful person in that room because it's your special day. Parang ano naman yan eh. It's like if it's your birthday, you don't want to piss off the birthday celebrant, right? I mean, the birthday celebrant gets a hall pass of almost everything that is appropriate. Minsan nga kahit nga inappropriate, nakakalusot, may hall pass ang may birthday. So it's the same with people who are getting married. Uh, they get a hall pass, and people need to understand that it's their special day, and they should not be stressed. They should be happy. They should be able to enjoy it. And me as a host, I would always tell this to my clients. It's your special day. You should not be stressed. If there are decisions to be made, I will consult you, but you do not want to stress yourself out. If it's a hard decision, I will help you decide by giving you options, or I'll make it easier for you guys, that I'll be finding a solution before I even come to you, right? Because that's how it always should be. If you're providing a service, or uh, if you're trying to solve a problem, you don't consult anybody unless you already have an idea, at least, or a solution of your own. And sometimes I would understand that, you know, you might not have a solution. That's why you have to consult with other people. But yeah, you have to come up with a solution before you even go to your client. Because if this were in the office, if this were in a corporate setting, you don't want to hear your clients say that, you know, don't give me problems, give me a solution, right? Subliminally, what your clients are feeling and thinking, that you don't come to them with problems. You have to tell me what I need to do or how to make this work, because I am worrying about the program. I'm worrying about the party already, and I'm wearing the client's hat right now. That's what they would be thinking and probably be saying. Don't come with me. Don't come to me with problems. But if you want to present a problem, you better have a solution or an idea on how to resolve things. Okay. So yeah, so that's those are my 5 fair points. why you should be in control of decision making on your wedding day. Basically, and the bottom line of this, iisa lang naman eh. And that's point number one. It's your money, it's your decisions. You're the client, and you should be able to handle it through your decisions. Um, no one should interfere with the plans that you make. If they get to interfere, that's rude. That's road. So yeah, to wrap things up, I know this broadcast over Facebook has been faulty. It has been hanging. Maybe you guys tried watching this, but it keeps on, it keeps on hanging and lagging and disconnecting. But I'm gonna be posting this anyway as the full video, and I hope you guys could still get to watch this with a full broadcast that I made. And I hope you guys appreciate the details that I shared with you guys. If you have any topics that you want me to talk about, just let me know. Send me a DM. If you want to consult with me about anything event related, I would be more than happy to help you. Hopefully, you also get to be my client. And if you have any future programs that you want me to handle, let's talk. All right. So yeah, thank you very much. Few things. I would like to invite you guys to like and follow my pages to keep updated on the other stuff that I am doing and I will be doing in the future. I have my workshop page where I try to help aspiring individuals become better public speakers and hosts. Like I said, I'm a hosting coach, and I am trying to make this a better industry and help the younger generation of future hosts be well-rounded speakers. They should know this, and they should be able to do this well in the future, and hopefully I get to be a part of that. So please do like my page, Your Inner Voice PH. That's www.facebook.com/YourInnerVoicePH. No space. And also, as a host, I also have my own Facebook page. That's www.facebook.com/MoxTheHostDeVera. Mox has 2 X's, don't forget. So yeah, thank you very much. If you guys want to check out my videos or learn from me, check out my previous hosting videos. It's also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/MoxDeVera. That's my name. That's the same for my TikTok. And on Instagram, I am just Mox the Host. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. And for those who are going to be tuning in the future, I hope I get to catch you. And I hope that the internet gets better so we can have a really good and active discussion. And we can exchange responses over the internet. Anyway, yeah, this has been Mox de Vera, and that is what happens behind the scene. I'll catch you guys next time.
Let's talk about it.